so let me check Twitch here to make sure we are live. We are live. All right, cool. All right, it's like we're coming through fine. Mac Nonsense, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so give it a few more minutes for people to jump in here. As usual, let me share the link for anybody who wants to come and join us. I'm gonna go over to StreamYard now, copy the link, and I shall place that link in the chat box. So to join live, typing here. So happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. I'm expecting not a lot of people are going to be here today because they're out playing for Memorial Day. So what am I going to do for today? I am going to go see Grogu and Mandalorian tonight. We'll talk about that again later. We got too few people here right now. More people will be jumping in later. Welcome everybody to the Blender 3D and LightWave discussions. We got some fun stuff to kind of to go over today. There's the link for those who want to come on and join and share. Happy Memorial Day weekend. So anybody have any special plans for the weekend? Any special plans at all? And also share where you're from and what the weather's like in your area. So check the chat box. I'll put the link in for anybody who joined who wants to share. We'll see how many people actually show up today because it's like I said, it's Memorial Day weekend, so everybody is out doing probably barbecues and family stuff. So I decided that I was going to go with a friend to go see the new Grogu and Mandalorian movie. So has anybody seen that yet? Welcome. More people are jumping in. Great to see everybody this Memorial Day weekend morning, Saturday. And anybody going to go see the Grogu Mandalorian movie today? Put in the chat box. Have you seen it already? And if you have seen it, what did you think? The reviews haven't been all that great. I'm getting a lot of mixed reviews. I'm getting Star Wars fans big Star Wars fans that are just not happy with the movie. I'm getting others saying that it's not a great movie, but they enjoy it. So I knew it was going to be okay. I didn't think it was going to be that great. I saw the previews to the movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, and I can instantly tell that it wasn't going to be anything that was going to be, that's going to be that, have any depth to it or it's going to be that well made. It was just going to be kind of like another episode on the big screen, which we're kind of getting already because, my big screen is a 70-inch television. So I put into the chat box, and I will do it again for your convenience, the link to jump on and join us live on StreamYard. So I'm going to put that into the Twitch box again for those who just joined us, because I don't think anybody can see what I recently posted if you're just joining it right now on Twitch. Got my coffee. I've become a coffee snob. I get gourmet coffee beans and then grind it with whole cinnamon stick in my coffee grinder, blend it all together, get a nice fine blend, and then I brew it. Add a little bit of the vanilla flavored oat milk creamer. Actually, I like the oat milk creamer much better than regular creamer. I think it has a much, much better flavor. Um, Here, let me share my screen real quick while I'm sitting here chatting with everybody. Share the screen. Let's share my entire screen, and let's share the one that I want to work on. I've been goofing around a little bit with AI for Blender, and also there's this new plugin that allows Claude to work inside of Blender, and I've downloaded it and have tried to install it, and so far I'm not. It's it's not showing up in the plugin, so not quite sure what's going on. I'm still researching it out. I may need to just reinstall 5.1.1. I think it's the problem. If there is a problem, but I found the Claude plugin. I think it's called the MCP interface with Claude, and it's not installing for some reason on the Windows. It's not installing. If anybody's had luck with it, let me know. This is Triple here, but we got a bunch of the little things I wanted to kind of go over. I was actually quite impressed. I imported this into Blender and was quite impressed with the improved detail. So I've been watching Triple for quite a while. There's other platforms, and they're basically all the same. Um, there's other platforms. One is called Meshy. I've chosen Triple because I liked the additional, just the ease of use and some of the additional functionalities that Meshy didn't have at the time. And Meshy has got and Triple has gotten better. It's gotten much much better. Um, I'm not digging the glossiness that this is giving me, but that can be changed in Blender instantly. But if you're getting close to here, um, let's see if I got. This is the original image. Let me click on the image and see. That's the image there. I should be able to show the original image here. I think it is. Let me kind of. There it is. Okay. So I generated this inside of a Nano Banana Gemini 3 and brought that in, and it did this. Now I'm looking like in between his hands, and you can see it kind of honored a lot of space inside there. You can also see that the geometry is connecting the head with any part that's too close to any other body part. The hands, the knees. You look at the arms; it's kind of connected together. So it's not like you can't use this model for rigging at all. But it can be used for other stuff. It can be used for a background image. I might use it for a little experimentation, an effect experimentation today. I'm doing a little job for a client where he wants stars in the form of a human body or a human head. And I figured I'll try it with this and see how this could adapt to that same concept. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have fun with it. We'll play around with it. But you have any ideas? Just kind of throw it in the chat. And don't forget to say hello and to share where you're from and all that stuff and what the weather's like in your area. I have already exported this out, so I want to share with you guys something else. I'm playing around with. Let me kind of get out of Triple temporarily here. Let me go back to Blender. Open up Blender. Shut it down there early. And there's something I'm finding with Blender as well with 5.1.1. We've got additional extra stuff that we can add to your modifiers. One of them is extra objects, right? So if I come up here and put in extra mesh objects is right there. There they are. They weren't there before. Okay. Extra curves. I want those. Let's go get those. Oh, great. That's what I was looking for. Before I logged in, they weren't there. I looked for them. I did not see them there. Yeah, grease pencil tools. Let me kind of take a look and see what else is in here I can play around with. Sculpting extra meshes and curves. Ooh, that looks interesting. Let's kind of put that in there too. I haven't played with that one yet. There's a lot of stuff. Blender is just deep. There's a lot of stuff in here that most people don't even are not aware of. And if you don't come in here and look, OWM import. I'll go ahead and put that in there. That's going to be a format we might want to use. Image to Matte Pro. I'll play around with that a little bit later. Okay, so anybody who wants to join in here, I'll give you guys the link again for your convenience. Just this is the direct link to StreamYard, and there you go. Come on and join on live. So if you want to invite your friends to come in and share in the adventure, the Blender adventure, I am going to give you the link to the Twitch channel, and I'm going to pop it in right there, and that is the link to the Twitch channel. Okay. So a lot's happening this week, guys. Wonderfest is happening, and I will be there. Actually, let me go there and share that with everybody, because we got to talk about this. You guys really should be going to this. Wonderfest.com. I think it's .com. Let me just oh, there it is. I've got it. You guys should be going to this. So it's the nation's largest 3D scratch building model building convention. Let me see. They've got a Facebook page too, and I will go there. It's in Louisville, of all places. Plane tickets are inexpensive. They're like anywhere from $250 to $320 round trip. They've got some incredible guests there. So if you're doing autographs of famous people, they're there. Greg Nicotero. We got Marta. She's Marta Kristen. She's great. She played, I think, Penny in Lost in Space. My friend David Alexander will be speaking there. He's the physician to the astronauts at NASA. John Eves. He's the guy that another friend of mine. He's the guy that designed your Starship Enterprise E, the version E, and works with Paramount in designing ships for them. So, great guy. All these people are great people. But basically, it's at a hotel in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a 2-day convention, Saturday and Sunday. I am doing I'll go to my site. I am doing a full day pre-con for them, as well as lectures on Saturday and Sunday. So if I go to my site, I'll share that with you. Go to the workshops, and I'm going to go over here to Blender 3D and my workshops. Go to my workshops, go to Blender 3D here. I'll give you the link to my site for your convenience. And then I'll give you the link directly to the Blender stuff. So this is to the main site. Let's share that with you. There we go. There's the main site there. And then we'll go over to the workshops. We'll go to Blender 3D. And it should be the very first one here. So the very first one here is the Wonderfest 2026. Now, let me I'm going to click the More button there. And let's open it up. Now, you guys really should be getting involved in this, because this is something that's going to be right up your alley. The theme of it is creating a sci-fi landing gears and deployment system. The whole idea is that it's for 3D printing, but you're going to design it and make it functional, animate it in Blender, make it functional in Blender, and then set it up so that you can 3D print it, so that when it comes off the 3D printer press, you can put it all together and it all works, right? The landing gear will retract and come out and all that stuff. Okay. So that's what we're going to be designing together in class. It's an 8-hour class. All right, I'm going to give you the link to this one because if you're not there in person, you can join us through Zoom. So Zoom will be up. In other words, you will be live with us in person, taking the class, and and there you go. I just put the link there, right there. The class will be recorded. So Blender 3D class, 8-hour day, and it's beginner level friendly. All right. So if you have a little or no experience in Blender, you will be able to follow along. After that class ends, you'll be able to do the beginning level Blender class. So I know Mac Nonsense is here. Let's see. Someone just made a comment here. We got Good Idea Co. Wow, man, I haven't seen you online. Dude, we've been here. What are you talking about? Where have you been? Welcome back. It's great to see you. But we've been here. We've been here every Saturdays. There was there was like 3 Saturdays in a row that I did miss because I was actually out of town doing jobs, actually 3D jobs. I was working. I wasn't screwing off. I was working, honestly. And there was a three weeks in a row I missed. But we've been back here ever since then. We did miss 2 Saturdays ago because I was no, it was last Saturday. We missed last. No, it was last Saturday. No, we did not miss last. It was 2 Saturdays ago. It was not too long ago where I'm a judge for the International Photography Exhibition, which is the largest in the country. We had about 4,600 photos that were submitted. So I'm one of the 44 judges that are there. So we may have missed that Saturday too. But we've been here every Saturday. So make sure you follow me on Twitch. So if you're not following me on Twitch, follow me now. That way you'll be notified of when I'm on. All right. So okay, cool. But yeah, great to see you here. Let's see. Who else? Ace Hoffman is here. Mike Nonsense is here. I just said hello to the Good Idea Company. And there's a bunch of others here, but they're not showing up in my little notification thing. So, all right. So if anybody wants to share, let me know. I did give you the link to jump on live, and I think right there, right? So if you need me to post link again, let me know. And we can go have some fun. And I'll share some stuff I'm working on. I've been playing around with this whole idea of AI and Blender, kind of getting a much better workflow. So far, the best workflow that I've found, I'm glad I found that plugin. I was playing around in here and I found the extra objects for the curves. So like if I go over here to my mesh, I've got an extra objects. It should be there. There's extras right there. So if I go in the curve, we come on down and let's see, we should have some extra stuff too, like spirals. What do we have in here? I'm looking for one that's kind of like, got the knots. Let me see what else we've got. We got hair, paths, curly. I think what I'm looking for, we got this simple, let's see. I'm looking for something that's kind of like a spring. And there is one in here that's going to give me a spring effects, profiles. Maybe this is the helix, I think is what I want. I think. So let me see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be my spring. And that's a curve. So this is a good thing. So what's nice about this is I can create shapes around it. And I want to experiment with something. So let me see if I can let's add a modifier to this. Add a modifier. I'm gonna go to generate and I'm gonna go to screw. If I go to screw, as you can see, it's kind of screwing it around in a particular direction. Maybe I don't want to add screw. I'm probably going to want to add, let me see something. Let me check the iterations here. Go to iterations, several. Let me check the different accesses. Okay, yeah. I want to play with this one. So screw, okay, Y, Z. Yeah, it may be what I really want to do. Let me go ahead and close this off. I've got a thought in mind. I'm just gonna experiment and screw and play around here. I'm gonna go to the array legacy, not the X. Let's see what I can do here. Am I in edit mode? That's why I'm in edit mode. Silly me. Okay, go to object mode here. All right. I still think I need the array anyway, so I'm gonna go over here to the Z axis and go to 1. There we go. Yep, that's what I want. Okay. All right. So I can go to 2 because if I want to do a spring or something, right? What would happen if I just see I can do a little springy thing there. That's what I want to do. I want to play around with this. So you're going to see what I'm going to have in mind in just a minute. Let's add some more, more, and just squish it down. Just something like that. Yeah, I like it. I'm digging that. Um, I got several things I wanted to share today, but we'll see. Um, okay, there's my little springy thing. So now I can go ahead to my data properties for my curves, right? We can go ahead and add something, give it some thickness. And as I was talking earlier, anybody seen the Grogu and the Mandalorian movie yet? Gosh, it's getting as I was talking earlier, it's getting a lot of mixed reviews. I'm gonna go to that geometry here, and by default it's going to be round, and by default there's no depth to it. So if we give it some depth, something like that, that's really interesting. That's because I'm squishing the wires. What's going on? That's what's going on mostly. So if I bring this back up to where it should be, that's not connecting the way I wanted it to as well. So I don't know. We're going to play with that a little bit. Let's see, there is another way I can handle this. Let me actually go to edit mode, go back to edit mode, and let's turn the depth down to 1. So it looks like it's connected, but it's not. All right, but what if we do this? I want to try something real quick. Just experimenting here with Blender. If I take this modifier, it's a helix mod. That's inside the helix. If I take the modifier, let's go back out, go back to object mode. What if I go back to the modifier? Actually, let me just temporarily turn it off. Let me go to the helix property. Okay, let's see what we have in here we can play with. Resolution 12. Okay, so I'm just curious about something. Okay, so we got the geometry. Yeah, all right. So offset, extrudes, resolution, depth. All right. Okay, so I was right. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn that back on real quick. And I want to see what happens if I apply this. If I just hit apply, which I can't apply construction mod for the curve. Yeah, it's right. I guess I can't do it. It's got to be geometry. So maybe what I can do instead is, let's say we do give it. I really want to keep it as a curve actually, and what I'm looking for is that it's a helix. If I come over here, I'm gonna do a shift right click. Let's put this here. I want to try something else. So shift A, mesh, curve, and we got our simple curves. Let's see. I want to go take a look and see if there's another option. Profiles. Okay, there's my Helix 3D. Let me see if there's some properties inside the Helix. There we go. We can just adjust it ahead of time and get it set from the very beginning. Okay, so the height, there we go. Okay, I can do this way. And we got the width end variable. Let's see what we got here. We got resolution, angle start, 360 degrees, 0, and I'm in a 3D mode. Let's see what this does. Okay, that's stretching it this way. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. That was an accident. Go back to curves and go back to simple. What simple was a profiles. Profiles helix. I wonder if there's anything called spring in here. I'm gonna go to spirals. I wonder if one of these things will actually do what I wanted to do. Okay, I'm gonna go profiles. I want to go back to the helix again, because that seems to be the most obvious. Okay, so I want to extend this. I want several of these. I want this to kind of loop up and around. And I thought that I can do it right through here. I was sure I could. And I'm going to explore. You have variable 1. Okay, so yeah, these are variations on the curve. And I did it again. I hate it when I do that. Curve, profiles, helix, 3D. So, and I'm going to see what this one does. That one is giving me a different look, different feel. It's kind of cool though. But I want a symbol. I just want a spring. That's all I want. So let me find out. Put that to 0. Put that back to 0. And I just need to be able to, let's see, N360. I'm not seeing anything that allows me to replicate it. So I got location. I got the rotation. I'm not seeing, which is kind of odd. You would think that would be in here to replicate this resolution, 1.100. If I bring it down, you can see resolution's being adjusted. All right, but give me the amount. Huh, interesting. Say poly, NURBS, Bezier. Let's go into a Bezier, NURBS. It doesn't matter. Interesting. Okay, cyclic. I'm not quite sure what that's going to do, but very, very odd. All right, I'm gonna have to find this. Let's try a preset. Let's drop it down. That's operators presets. Normally you would see presets in here. Drop it down. Here we go. All right. So profile, rectangle, splat, star, cycloid. I don't want that. Cogwheel. I don't want that. Arc. I definitely don't want that. Noise. That's predictable. Inside, which is N-gon sided basically. Profiles. Yeah, okay, so it's not doing. There was a thing that actually there's a way to produce a spring in here, and it was a basic preset. Helix 3D. It was a basic preset, and I'm having a problem finding it. Okay, all right. I will deal with it another way. So if I give this, let me go ahead and give this a curve. Let me go ahead and give this a shape real quick, just experimenting. All right, and then I come over here and I can just see what it does to the shape. See, that's what I'm looking for. So when I actually animate this, right, the shape is not going to move. It's gonna, that's what a spring does. It maintains its shape. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new file so I can reset this back. Cool. Now I go back to curves, profiles, go back to helix. There we go. There's my helix. Let's add the shape to it real quick. And come back here, go to my shape for my curves, and we're going to go back down here to my curves data. Pull this out a little bit. Geometry. And under the geometry round, now I can do objects, I can do profiles, but I just want the standard circular profile like this. Yeah. So why I'm doing this way, I can, if I want to do a spring, I can see, I can add this movement to it where it maintains the circular shape, but it's going to stretch and move with the bone. If I put a bone in here, right? So what I need to do is I need to replicate this in a type of uh, a shape. So if I pull this down like this, okay, that's looking good. All right, now we'll keep it there. Now let's put on a modifier. This is interesting. Before we put on the modifier, before we did all of this, and it kind of went out of whack. I want to see what happens now. We got our object, and I'm curious about something too. If I go, let me go and show them in object mode. There we are. And I might want to right click, set the origin. Let me see if set the origin to geometry. Let's replicate this. Let's add a modifier to this one. Let's go over to the array modifier. I go to the legacy. Okay, so far so good. If I come up here with the legacy and I want to go to z-axis, so get it off of the x-axis, go to 0 and do that. Okay, that's looking good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. All right, so what I need to do is adjust this so we go something like this. Yeah, this is going to be, oh, it needs to come in closer, but we'll see if we can modify that another way. So I'm holding the shift key while I drag this so I can make minute movements very slow. I have to move my mouse a little slower like that. Let's get as close as we can. Something like that. Pull it on back. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There's my spring. And I wanted to play with something here. All right, this is good. So if I come over and just play with this, it's still not doing totally what I expected to do, but it's squishing still. My oh, let's do this. Let's try this. Let me go in edit mode real quick. And if I do this, yeah, it starts to even shift off. I gotta figure out a better way to do this. There is a better way to do this. There's an option in Blender. It creates this helix as all one shape, and I can work with that. But for right now, I'm gonna be stuck with just going with an object and doing the screw command. All right, I'll show you what I mean with that. Um, I'm going to get rid of this real quick. Now I'm going to just let's bring in a mesh. Let's bring in a circle. All right, let's turn that circle to the side. So I'm going to rotate on the y-axis, so RY90. Move it over to the side just a little bit. And I'm going to reduce this down. So S key for scale. Pull it down to something like that. That's going to be the shape of my spring. Command A, that's apply our rotation and scale. Now we're going to edit mode real quick so we can give this a surface. So it's selected already. F key for fill is all we want. We go back out to object mode. So this is not a curve now. Now this is a nice little solid object. Okay, now we just go to screw, give it a modifier. The way I would normally do it is go over here to the generate and go to the screw modifier. Okay, it's screwing it on its own axis right now. Now we can tell it. I think the professional way to handle this is probably to use an empty as the central point in which to screw it around. And we can apply any object, right, as the central point. Right down here in the screw modifier area, you have an axis object there. So I'm going to bring in something here. I'm going to bring in, let's say Shift A. We're going to bring in an empty. And let's go and put in a cube for the empty, right? And I'm just going to just scale, bring the cube down like that. So that's the empty we're gonna rotate around. All right, we'll select our object again here, hit the eyedropper and select empty, and now it's gonna, rotate around the empty. Let's see, what do we got here? We got, we only have one iteration, haven't done anything yet. We haven't screwed it yet, right? We didn't put the screw modifier on just yet. Sides in the viewport, so if I increase that, I can smooth it out, right? There's a method to my madness here. All right, now we're going to screw it. So go to screw and just screw it to whatever you want, right about there. Okay, so that'll create my little springing effect. All right, just kind of playing around with this. And this should work. So if I come over here and go iteration 2, 3, 4, 5, see, right? So it's clean. It's clean. It's a nice little clean. We don't really want it to bend and that far, so we'll do. Let's see, how many do I have? Got 5. We'll go to 6. We'll make it even. Something like this. Okay, so let's go play around. But I'm going to experiment with this here. Let's grab. Let's bring a bone in here, okay? And let's see. I'm going to have one at the top. That's going to stretch. Yeah, it's probably going to bring in several bones. I want to bring in 3 bones, and I'm going to do so with the armature, single bone here. And I'm going to, let's see, should I just do it the other way around? Kind of, get the bone there. Go to tab key, go to edit mode. let's flip it around. So I'm going to select it. In fact, here, I'm going to my object mode right here, and I'm going to just flip it around on the x-axis. So rotate it R on the x-axis at 180 degrees there. Cool. If I go to apply rotation and scale, okay. All right, we're going to go to edit mode, grab this end. I'm going to go to my front view here. Let's go just right there. And I'm just grabbing that. Come on. Come on. There, that little ball right there. Okay, let's go to the front view here, orthographic view. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab this so it's easy. Pull it on up to here. Grab this ball down here and we'll take it to there. And then we're going to select it and we will right click on it and we'll subdivide it and we'll say subdivide into a total of 3 parts. Okay, so I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm going to grab this here because this is going to be the spring. This little guy up here is going to be for something else. And this little guy down here is what we're going to point it to. This is better work. So I'm going to select that one and I want to take it off. I'm going to hit the Alt P for unparent or clear the parent. So now I can completely, take that off there like so. All right. So now we got to do some little bit of work here. Let's bring in a quick little disc just to kind of give it something for us to visually, assess what we're trying to do here. So I'm trying to get this to bend and warp, like a car shock, so to speak. So I'm just setting this up. I'm doing a simple setup just so that I can understand how I want to set up my bones for a real life situation. But whenever I'm experimenting with something, I always keep it simple, like stupidly simple. And once I get that working, then the concepts I learned from the stupidly simple setup should work for the more complicated stuff. All right, drinking my coffee here. I make great gourmet coffee. Now, if there's anybody here who want to share, once again, I'm going to go ahead and grab that link to come on the StreamYard to join live. And I know people have been jumping in since I've been talking here. And let's see, let's go ahead and put that there. And there we go. So if you want to join in live, once again, and don't be afraid to share. Where are you from? What the weather's like in your area? And what are you doing for Memorial Day weekend is what I want to know. What's going on for Memorial Day weekend? Did anybody see the Grogu and Mandalorian yet? Or Mandalorian Grogu yet? What did you think of it? No spoilers, but just tell us what you thought of it. I tell you what, when you talk about, artists in general, and Star Wars fans, if you spoil stuff, you lose friends really fast. I mean, you don't have to do something bad to people to lose friends. You just make us just spoil the movie, and then your friends are gone. don't never rule number one, never spoil a movie. Okay, so we need to bind this. I got to bring in my cylinder first. So Control A. I'm getting sidetracked here. Let's go to object mode. All right, there we go. We got a little bone back there. I got it for some reason. I've got it in X-ray mode. Let me see. Material mode, solid mode. That's weird. Why is it going? Oh, it's in X-ray mode. Got it. Okay. No, what did I just do? Okay. Wireframe. I want that in solid mode. and Alt Z. There we go. Get out of X-ray mode. Alt Z, that was X-ray mode I was in. I'm going to bring in a, I'm going to select, I don't need to select that. I'm just going to hit the Shift A. Go to my mesh, go over here, get a cylinder. Cool. Bring it on up to here. And we're going to say I guess we can have the cylinder sitting right about somewhere like this. Control A, rotation scale, edit mode, face editing mode, grab the top face. I'm going to do something like this. Okay, that'll work. Here, let me just add a little extra visual interest here. So if I go to my edge editing mode and also grab these edges here and just give it a little bit of a bevel, that's all, just to give it some interest. Okay, got our X-ray mode, go to object mode. Okay. I want to select. Okay, that should work. All right, so let's do this. All right, here we go. We're going to bind these bones. So what I want, go to X-ray mode, I want the top cylinder to bind to the tiny bone. I want the spring to be bound to the big bone. And then I want everything, I want the big bone to be pointing. Oh, something's going on down here. What's this? What's going on here? This is interesting. Hold on a second, something's going on. I got an additional bone in here. Where did that come from? An additional bone. Not supposed to be a bone in there. All right, select it. Let me hold Alt P. Okay, there's no parent to it at all, so I can move it, right? So here, I'll just X key and get rid of the bone. Okay. Somehow I must have dragged off an additional bone and didn't realize it. Okay, let's see. Under the armature here, just to inspect to make sure what I have what I have. Under the armature, okay, I got the armature. Go to the armature, bone 1 and 2. 1, 2. Okay, that's the main armature, huh? Go over to here, grab that bone, grab this bone, and grab this bone. There it is. Okay, so this bone is a parent to that bone, right? So it's underneath that. You gotta remember to drop off that little tick there. So that one there, and that one there. The bone collection, I assume it's all the bones. Okay. All right, so all right here in the outliner is telling us exactly what we've got. Bone 1, bone 2. We can name this one. Bone 1, let's call this one the cylinder bone, spring bone, and pointer bone, okay? So I'm gonna bone dot cylinder. Okay, that one there. Bone dot pointer. And this is going to be bone dot spring, just so we can stay organized. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so I think we've got it all set up. So this is what we're going to do. Let's go parent these things properly. So tab key, go to our object mode, get out of X-ray mode. I may need the X-ray mode. I'm going to need the X-ray mode. OG, go back. Why? Because I want to select this. I don't need to say, and then select the shift select uh, the um, the rig. It's basically a rig, and then immediately go to tab and go to pose mode and tell Blender which bone to attach this object to, which is that one there. Once I have that bone there, Control P, and then parent the bone, parent it to the bone. Okay. All right. Now we're going to test it. It's done. So if I select this bone and move it, that moves with it. Okay. All right. I'm going to undo it. So now that's attached to the bone. And this object will only be attached to that bone. It's kind of fun, actually. It's kind of a lot of fun. Now we're going to attach the spring. Let me get out of X-ray mode here. No, I got to be in the object mode. Duh. Okay. Get out here. Now we're going to attach the spring to the rig. So the spring being selected, shift select the rig, hit the tab key to go to pose mode, and then click on the bone you want to actually pose to attach that to, and then hit Control P for parent and parent that bone. Boom. Okay. So now when I go back, go to X-ray mode, I'm going to get out of here again. I want to go to, yeah, pose mode is right. If I go to pose, if I move this around, it's not interesting. Okay. And it may be a little dangerous. I should probably apply that modifier. It's my thought process. It's my thought process. I'm thinking I should probably apply the modifier. Yeah, I'm going to have to apply that modifier because it's doing some funky stuff. So if I go get out of here, go back to object mode, select the helix thingy thing, go to the modifier and just apply it. There. Okay, so it's one. So I should be able to grab the hierarchy, go to pose mode, and there we go. Yeah. So now that's doing exactly what I wanted to do. So with those modifiers on, it's fighting those modifiers, and at the same time, but then again, I wonder if I needed to. Nah, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there at all. I'm just going to just stick to what I'm doing. I'm gonna, yeah, now it works, right? It works. So if I decide to, come over here and play with this and go to right? Okay, I've got that there. Now I should probably parent something else over to here. I want this to always point at this in a stretching manner, right? In a stretching manner. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to give it it's a constraint, which is basically a modifier for motion. Once again, it's like a modifier, like regular modifiers, but it's a modifier for motion. But you want the bone modifier. Since we got a bone here, we want a bone modifier, which is right down at the very bottom. You see a picture of a bone in blue with a little pulley around it, simulating motion. And we have nothing in here yet, because we haven't applied a bone modifier to it yet. So select it down, and we've got under tracking, we got several options here, but very similar to what you're getting in your modifiers for your objects. And we've got something called stretch to. We click it, it highlights yellow. That yellow means there's a modifier attached to this. There's a constraint attached to that bone. And you wanted to stretch to what? I wanted to click on this. I wanted to stretch to that right there. Oops, it's not working. All right, it's not working. Why is it not working? Here, eyedropper, select it. It did it. There it is. It did it. It just took a while. It's a little buggy. So bone dot pointer is pointing to it. Okay, so what should happen is I can grab that bone dot pointer and move it around. There we go. So it's always stretching to it. Okay. So let's see, if I grab this, yeah. So it's like shocks, like boom, 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 like think of this, attached to wheels or something, and the wheels are kind of like move, boom, boom, and the shocks moving forth. Now, what I gotta do is there's a technique I can use to keep these from squishing like this, and I gotta find it. I'll find it, but in the meantime, it's working. Okay, so so it would bring this over to here, over to here. So now what we can do is we can go and go back to object mode, go get this duplicated. So Shift D, right click it, stretch it down. I think I'm going to want to probably pull this up to here. Just doing something visual that we can all connect to. And with that selected, I should be able to select that, shift select the skeleton, tab key, once again, go to the pose mode, tell it to connect to that one, and hit Control P to parent it, and parent it that bone right there. Okay. We'll make this one a little bigger. We'll go to edit mode. And I want to stretch it out on the X and Y, but not on the Z. So I want to go into edit mode. Not there, silly me. Get the object. Thank you. Edit mode. There. Okay. Face editing mode. A key for select all. Scale, but lock down the Z. Shift Z locks down the Z, and I can go like this. So make it a little bigger or something like that. Okay. Just screwing around. I'm not making anything. I'm just playing around. All right. So go to my object, tab key, pose mode here, and there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Of course, that's all messed up down there, but who cares? We're just goofing around. Okay. So if you want to stretch anything, like a springy effect, well, that's how you do it. You want to make shocks. It's going to react. And then use a bone setup. All right. Use that bone setup. All being done through bones. There's another little trick you can do too. You've probably seen this on the internet. Well, let's bring in some more bones. Let's bring in one over here. Let's go to Shift right click right there. Let's bring in the bone. This should be a fun one if you want to do something kind of fancy, but this gives you an idea. It's the same similar concept. So Shift A. Get out of here. Go to object mode first. Shift A. We're going to go to our armature. We're going to bring in a single bone. right, and let's bring that up like that. Let's go to front face view. So the one key on the keyboard, bring it like this. Okay, and then we're going to go over to here to edit mode. Bring it on down something like this. Okay, and then we'll go to E key, extrude that on down like this. You guys have probably seen this on the internet, but it's worth kind of showing you the flexibility of bones inside a blender. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift S, and we're going to put the cursor to select it right about there. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go to this little piece right here and extrude off another bone. So E, something like this, because we're going to make inverse kinematics effect. Okay. Now this one was not an inverse kinematics. The first one was not inverse kinematics. We were using modifiers to make it point, right? We were using modifiers to make it work. Here we won't be using modifiers. We're going to use inverse kinematics. So it's controlling your skeletal structure utilizing one bone. By pulling one bone, you can control the whole structure of your rig. Okay, we got some comments. Cam 3D, hey man, how you doing? So hey, I will put that link to join on live. Good to see you. Let me get the link to join on live here. StreamYard, there we go. To join on live, let me go find it here real quick. I just had it in front of my eyes, and then there we go. Got it. All right, I'm going to copy that. I will put it into the chat box, and I will link. So if any guys want to come on live and share with me, I'm giving you that link now again. There you go. So you can jump on live. Okay, Carm is here. I'm adding you to stage now. Hey,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
I don't hear you yet, Carm.
Uh,
I should hear you any time now. And I know my microphone, my speakers are good. All right, so I'm not sure if you're speaking or your mic's having an issue, but anyways, let's take a look at. Okay, he says stand by. Got it. All right, all right. Let's see. Those other comments here. Let me see. Let's see. Buster Cam is here. We've got Buster 666. Okay, Buster X66. All right. So, but can you do that without deforming the diameter of this? But yes, you can.
test.
I've forgotten how. I got to go find out. That was why I started with the curve initially, because the curve should have kept that shape, and it didn't. That surprised me a little bit.
Test.
If I modified the curve, and that's what I want. I was looking for the curve with the helix curve, and by animating the curve, the shape should have held true. But I got to find the helix command inside a Blender for that. So, but yes, Buster X66, you can do without deforming the diameter of that shape.
Test.
Yes, I can hear you now, Karn.
Oh, weird. It just popped on.
Yeah, let's go.
I went into settings and started working.
Good. So glad you haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So what's been happening?
I'm working on an application, but we can go into that in detail.
Yeah, sure. If you want
I
to.
think something you might enjoy.
All right. We'll go. We're almost getting to break time. So After break, we can bring you on. You can share what you've been working on. Okay, so what was I doing? Let's see. But it says answer. I have the answer to that for LightWave. Well, Buster X66. If you want to come on and share that technique for LightWave as well, you're welcome to. You
That was
got it.
me saying that.
Oh, that's are you Buster X66?
I was saying it to him. That's why the at is there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the name and not the at. All right, got
Yeah.
it. Sorry, my fault. Let's see what else we've got here. And stream the mic issues. Okay, good. We're good. I mean, no one else has questions or comments. Yeah, ask questions. Always ask questions. Okay, cool. We got everything. So, okay, let me finish up what I was doing here. So we're gonna do a rig, right? So in order to do a rig, I've got to, um, and oh, just by the way, just FYI, everybody, we've got an official Discord. I'm not sure if anybody's been aware of that. In fact, I've been getting these little pop-up notices from the Discord. It's right here, and it's huge. Actually, I want to grab the Discord. There we go. This is our Discord. So right over here, I've got. I'm gonna go find our Blender one. Scroll around. There we go. That's our Blender. I will grab the link to that Discord so you can come on and become a member. So invite to server, copy. I will put that into the chat box now. I will put the heading Discord, free to join, and it's a lot of activity there. I use this for all of my Blender workshops and corporate trainings that I do. Oh, that's not you. That's not my Discord. I hit the wrong thing. I went that one. So there's Discord. So go there and join in now. Say hello in the chat box. Let me maximize this real quick. Some of you. Oh, there we go. Some people just came in.
That's me.
That's you. Okay, Nifty.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Nifty Polygon.
Oh, good. So under general is where everybody chats with one another. There's a lot here. Homework submission. You'll see the homework for my Blender 101 classes at Studio Arts. And they're currently, as we speak, submitting their homework here. You can kind of check out to see what we're doing. Blender preferences setup. This is the way I like to set up Blender and preferences. I created 3 videos for you. Check that out. I'm doing an animations essentials class. You'll be seeing some animations up here pretty soon. Special videos, a lot of videos and techniques that videos I recorded and or videos that other people posted in here that they thought other Blender users might be interested in learning. So there's a lot here. Post your there is one in here for your demo reels. Let me go find that real quick. It should be. I thought it was up here at the top. Let me scroll down. Rigging. I got a rigging class that I teach. You can check out and see what we're doing in there. And I'm looking for Blender plugins right there. We got a PDF file for plugins. It's not a PDF file, but a links to plugins. But we do have a PDF file for shortcuts, right? So I'm looking for. I just go through here and take a look at. There's a lot of great stuff in here, and it's grown like crazy. So Nifty, I say give him a thumbs up. That's Carm. It just came in. We got a lot of people. Okay, let's go back to play. So there it is. So join in if not already joined in. Become a member. It's all free and learn. I want that to be the go-to channel for Blender enthusiasts. I don't use Blender, but he will use Blender one day because Blender is really kind of taking over the market. And there's nothing you can. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. Blender is really making some incredible inroads in the industry. It used to be Maya. Now Blender's taking over the Maya territory. Maya people don't want to pay thousands of dollars. I have used it, but I don't generally. You should use Blender a lot more. I mean, trust me, there's software. No one software does everything. There's software that's just superior to Blender in certain things. What's that? I forget the name of the software. Carmen, what's the name of
LightWave,
the not no the particle system software? The one
Storm.
no. It's the most advanced 3D
Oh,
software.
Houdini.
Houdini, right? So I've learned from working with Blender that it doesn't touch Houdini and what it does. Houdini is the master of effects. It just is. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah, I
just
know Houdini user. He's doing some crazy stuff with it.
crazy shit with Houdini, and Blender can't touch it. I mean, it's having a hard time touching it. But a lot of other aspects of 3D, Blender's definitely revolutionized. So I think it'll get there in time, but it's going to take a little time for it to get to where Houdini is right now. That's what I'm going to show you some of the geometry nodes after this, after Karm, I guess, when he's done. Geometry nodes is Blender's answer to what Houdini does. So it's dead. The Blender Foundation is deadly serious in making this a serious competitor um, on the market for commercial and personal use. Okay, let's go. Let's go play. Let's go play. Um, all right, so that's going to be this. I need to separate this off. I'm going to go grab this one right here in the bottom. Yes, that one right there.
You still
Uh,
got your Discord link on screen.
I do. That's weird. I should not have my Discord link on screen. I'll tell you what. Let me reach. It says I'm sharing my full screen. Interesting. Let me remove the share, and
Yeah, still there.
that's weird. Yeah, I took it off stage.
Oh, well, maybe it's only in the live version. Sorry.
All right, gotcha. There we go. I just added it back to stage, and I'm seeing.
I'm looking on StreamYard. It's there.
Okay, got it.
Maybe
That's
it's not on the other one. I
no,
apologize.
that's right. No worries. There we go. We're back. So let me turn off that little notation thing down the bottom of the Discord, and let's go play. So I'm gonna take this one, Alt P, Ultra Option P, and we're going to clear that parent so this can be disconnected. So that's going to be our handle for controlling our rig. Our rig in this case is only going to connect. It's only going to be two bones, the thigh and the shin, so to speak. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead and create the IK. So tab key, and we're going to go to pose mode, which is the animation mode for your bones. With that selected, shift select your shin, the next bone up, and then hit the shortcut Shift I and hit target selected bone. There, we got a rig all ready to go. So if I go grab this here, there is my rig.
IK rig.
IK rig. That is an IK rig. And now what I want to do is I want the same thing on the other side. So if I go to, let's say, let's go back to our edit mode. And I'm going to come right up here on the top of Blender and say I want the orientation for this interface now to be the 3D cursor. I'm going to select the 3D cursor. So if I bring in anything to select, right, it's going to be the 3D cursor is going to be the orientation. If I select these two legs here, that leg and this leg, and I want to duplicate it and mirror it to the other side. So what I'm going to do is Shift D to duplicate it, right click to set it back, Now I'm going to use a shortcut to mirror it to the other side. The shortcut is Control M for mirror. And then I hit the axis I want to mirror it on, and that's going to be the X. So I hit Control M. I just did it. Now I'm going to hit the X key in the keyboard. Boom. It flips it to the other side automatically. So let's join these two together up here. So I'm going to take this one at the top. Now I've got the 3D cursor up here as the option for the orientation. Go back to medium point. And I'll just kind of drag that like right there. And then I'll hit Shift S, cursor to select it. Select this little nodule right there. Shift S, selection of cursor. So they all share the same little point. Now, what I'm going to do now is this. So at this point, go to pose mode. And as we know, this is, there it is. All the properties that was attached to this leg is now attached to the opposite leg. And now I can do something like that. So imagine maybe, two, like, I don't know, like two rectangular shapes on a fulcrum or something, and they're attached. One shape for one leg, other shape for another leg. And because you can composite, you can parent anything to the bottom one down in here. So I thought that would be kind of fun to show. So it's time for break. And Carmen, if you want to share your screen so Lisa's there when we come back from break,
Okay.
we'll bring up the 15-minute timer thing. That went by fast today.
Let me.
I wasn't expecting as many people showing up because I was thinking it was a Memorial Day weekend and everybody would be out of town, but people are showing up.
Let me change my screen resolution before I do that.
Sure, go ahead. You got time. You got some time. Shut up. Okay, so we'll let the commercial go past, and there we go. 15-minute break. All right, so I'm gonna maximize it, and we will come back in 15 minutes. Snack break, bathroom break, all that stuff. So I will mute my camera,
You got
and
me?
I can hear you.
I mean, do you see my screen?
I see your screen. So when we come back from break, I'll stop sharing my screen and share your screen. And I'm going to, let's see, maximize it to that. There we go.
All right, I'm going to go tinkle.
I'm just curious. Has anybody seen The Mandalorian and Grogu yet? Tell me what you think in the chat box. Mandalorian and Grogu. Has anybody seen that yet? I'm planning on going to see it tonight. All right, so Carm says no. Let's see. Let's Carm say.
I've watched reviews about it, but I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, the reviews that I've seen aren't all that great. Ace Hoffman, welcome. Welcome. I'm going to have to. I'm streaming mostly to Twitch, so I noticed your comment about being on Twitch as well, but we're only on Twitch at this point, and because I'm using the free version of StreamYard, I'm gonna have to break down. Okay, that time is up. All right, we are back. Um, it's the let me see. I do not. I want to kind of turn that off there. Okay, cool. So yeah, so it's I'm going to break down and pay for it so I can also stream to both YouTube as well as to Twitch. Um, Carm, I'm going to share your screen,
Okay.
and I don't hear your voice yet for some
You got
reason.
my audio?
Is I'm going to stop sharing my remove mine off screen, add you to screen.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. Did the same thing I did last time. I went into options and it started working.
Huh. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and give you full screen access so we can enjoy full screen effect here. Now, before you start, before you get started, I want to share something with the group real quick, just because we had a bunch of people who just jumped in and they
Sure, it's
didn't
your
hear
show.
the early announcements. But I share too.
I said, sure, it's your show.
Okay. So here I'll share the screen. Let me share my the website. So for those who just came in, I was sharing earlier. I'm speaking at Wonderfest this year, so that's these guys right here. Now I'm doing an 8-hour day Blender workshop on Friday, May 29th. And if you go to my website, and I'll give you guys a link to this in just a moment, Cremeolution.com, and if you go to the workshops, you go to the Blender 3D, come down over to the top, first one to the right, top left, and there's the Wonderfest, and it's 8 hours. It starts at 6 o'clock Eastern time because I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, so it'll be Eastern time, 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock my time would be 3 hours. Be 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. your time here on the Pacific coast, and 8 hours. So with an hour break for lunch, and it's going to be an opportunity to learn Blender modeling, to learn Blender 3D printing, and to learn Blender animation. I got 3D printing, animation, and modeling all built into this. So the idea that is we're doing a sci-fi landing gear and deployment system. So we're going to build the system. We're going to, talk about 3D printing it, and go over the process of 3D printing it, and we're going to talk about animating it as well, so that it actually works. So when we actually put it 3D print it, it works all together in your model, or can work in your model. So join this one. I'm gonna copy that link, and I'm gonna put it in the chat box for your convenience. And I would love to see you guys there. I mean, and the class is being recorded, so you get the recording after the class. So I'm gonna go show that link there. Go ahead and check that out. Now, also after that class is done, when you go back to my workshops, go to the Blender 3D. The Blender introduction to Blender starts after Wonderfest ends. So a lot of people at Wonderfest will be taking this class. So this should be a full class. So that's that. And this class starts on June 14th. Now this is Sundays, right? Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Pacific time, for 5 weeks, and every class is recorded. So this is a great opportunity to jump in here and learn Blender. Okay. So definitely sign up. Now I will. What I'm going to plan on doing is no, we should do that right now, because at the end of the class, everybody starts to leave because they want to go play outside. So I always do a giveaway at during these Blender broadcasts. I'm going to do one. Now, if you've already won before, then you don't get to submit again. So those who won a class from me already, I want to share the wealth. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do that right now, so we can get that out of the way, and then we're going to go to Karn. I'm going to go over here to my notepad, and there we go, notepad. I'm going to put a number in here. Let me select all. I'll get rid of that stuff. I'm going to put a number in here from 1 to 50. All right, from 1 to 50. I'm going to put this on the other monitor so you can't see it. And you guys are going to type in a number, and whoever gets closest to my number wins the class. So, okay, let's go for it. So go on and put in the chat box now. Okay, Buster X66 says 36. We should see more people jumping in there. Where is everybody else? I know everybody. From 1 to 50, put a number in the chat box. Put a number in the chat box from 1 to 50.
Maybe Buster wins by default.
He's gonna. If nobody else is gonna submit, why are you guys not submitting? Are they even there?
There's like 8 people here, right?
Yeah, and maybe more than that, because it's not showing it all, showing them all. So I wonder if they're logging on and not paying attention. Anybody else submitting? I wonder if anybody else is actually there. We got numbers here, but it's like nobody's answering. All right. So my number is, so no one else is submitting. So what do we say? Buster X66 wins by default. Go Buster. But Buster makes me feel. All right. I guess that's what we're gonna do. We'll say Buster X66 will win by default. So do me a favor. I'm going to give you my email address. Send me your email and cell phone number, and I'll include you in the class. So that comes up in June. So I'll put in Steve at chromallusion.com. Okay. Make sure I spelled it correctly. All right. Yeah, there's a bunch of people here, but I wonder if they just kind of step away from their computer and they're not paying attention, and they come back later. All right, Karn, I'm gonna share your screen. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
That means this is just between you, me, and Buster.
Um, I don't know. Good question. So where is everybody? I know they're there. I know actually a couple of people here are clients of mine, so I know they're there. So they may have just stepped away. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Y'all yours. Take it away.
Okay. Well, so I'm developing an application that I think you can find benefit from, and people who use LightWave 2, people who use Photoshop or ZBrush or any of these creative type programs that use lots and lots of keystrokes. Now these kinds of tools already exist, but I think I'm taking it in a place that none others go that I've seen anyway. But let me launch it, and you can see what it does. It's called Pad Quarters. Now you may be thinking, oh, it's kind of small, but there's times when you want it to be small. But right now, I will tell it to be big. So let's go into options, and we'll click large here. There we go. Is that better?
Looks good.
So you can see it's got, while we're here in options, we got different languages to choose from. Que
Uh,
bueno. Muy beaucoup. Or I don't know how do you say it in French. I'll go back to English. Everybody speaks English here, right? Right, Buster? All right. We could change the background color. Change
Buster
the
says,
text
"Yep."
color. What's that?
Buster says, "Yep."
And we could change the button color. We got like a selection of buttons to choose from. Let's go purple. Is that gaudy enough?
Love the colors.
Let's go a little darker with the red. All right, and then you can also go into here into wallpapers and choose the wallpaper. So we got, it comes with a selection of wallpapers like that, but you can also use, from your own hard drive, you can pick one. Let's just go with that. It's a classy one. All right. So back to home. Oh, volume does nothing because there's no audio in it yet. So let's go into hardware, and it should be fairly quickly evident what this does. Okay. So we got two main options here. You can use your keyboard, or you can use another device. And this is mainly for people who go to Amazon and buy these little cheap numeric keypads. You've seen them like little $10 USB keypads. But you can also use it with other devices too. Anything that's compatible with HID, which is pretty much anybody. And there's a help file about that you can read later. But basically, if you buy like an X input game controller, they typically hide their HID signals, so you can't use those. The Steam controller also hides its signals, so it can only be used for Steam. But a very large majority of devices out there, apart from those caveats, can be used with this. And if you don't have a device, you can use your keyboard. And that, what I mean is, you can use it. It overruns it hijacks the numeric keypad of your keyboard. So if your keyboard doesn't have a numeric keypad, then I guess you're out of luck. And unfortunately, that's about all I have to show as far as what I have working so far. I can just talk about what the rest of it does. I mean, I can go here, but that just takes us to a blank screen for the next part that isn't developed yet. But basically, it lets you. Actually, let me start this over again so I can show a keypad image. I'll just use this here for an example. So let's say you spend $10 and you buy a keypad. This is your numlock key and then your divide and minus. I'm sorry, divide, times, and minus, plus, enter. But they typically come without like labels on the keys, so you can add your own labels. Anyway, let's say you're in LightWave. Let me pull up LightWave real quick. Okay. Look at the sheer number of tabs I have up here. It's crazy, isn't it?
Huh.
So what this will do is you can make categories, previous category, next category, and select category. And so you can scroll through categories that you define to mirror all your categories up here. And then down here, there'll be subcategories, previous subcategory, next subcategory, and select subcategory. And then the rest of these buttons over here will be for all your commands. And each one of these can have up to 3 commands per key. So you tap it once, that's one command. You double tap it, that's another command. You hold it down, that's a third command. And when you're running it, there will be a little text display. Well, first of all, it will have like a clone image of your device that you can arrange like a workspace. You can drag and drop button images or dial images on there, so you can arrange things the way you like, so it more or less resembles your hardware. And then there will be a little text window. So when you're selecting commands, it will show in the text window before it actually activates, so you can see what you're doing. And then you hit the enter button to commit. Then it sends a command to LightWave. So basically, you can program in, without having to know programming, hundreds of key commands. And then what you could do is you could tell it to run. Let's go back to small mode. You could tell it to run so that it's always on top. So you could leave it running in the corner here. It'll actually be a little smaller than this when you're running it. And so it could basically replace your menu for LightWave. So while you're over here working, you'll hit your numeric keypad on your keyboard or on your device to trigger commands like draw a box, draw a sphere, whatever, and then hit the commit button, and it'll do it in LightWave, provided you type in all the proper keystrokes that work with LightWave or with Photoshop or with ZBrush or whatever. And if you buy a device with a knob, you could use that to change your brush size in Photoshop or rotate your canvas. Or you can change you could use the same knob to do both things just by changing the modes. And that's basically it. All I have to show so far. I'm still, still very early in development. But as you can see, it's got very pretty graphics.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. It took a long time to make this page, all the modeling I did. You like the USB hanging on the title? And it plugs in the wall over here.
And you're welcome to share something else if you like.
Sure. I can show you how to do springs so that they don't
Yeah, go for that.
shrink if you want.
Go for that. Maybe that'll jog my memory and where to find it in Blender.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to use the same principle. So I'll shut that down. If anybody has, very late 90s, early 2000s interface. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Buster, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get to,
LightWave has not changed in a long time.
I think he's talking about my program here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about LightWave.
No, he's talking about like with all the pretty graphics and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
The very colorful buttons. When you run it, when it's actually see over here. Let me actually choose something. I'll say use keyboard. Now it says use keyboard here, and now I can move on to the next section, which is not developed.
It says it reminds me of Bryce interface.
Yeah, I see that. And then it says select application. This is where you choose LightWave or Blender or whatever. And then you configure all your keystrokes in there. And then when both of those selected, then Go Live will be available. And that's when it goes live. And it will contract down to the smallest possible size so you can leave it running on top. And there'll be an option there to force it to stay on top of everything. Anyway, let's close that down. So let's go in the top view here. Okay. So we got a single point polygon here. And let's see. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's say I think what I want is a radial array. Here it is. There we go. And radial count, I don't know, let's say 32. And offset like this. 32 is probably a bit too much, but we can adjust that. But I want to go more than 360. Let's say 360 times 3. There we go. Now 32 doesn't seem like such a bad number. And we'll say offset. That might be too much. All right, that's probably good. Oops. All right. Actually, we don't need these to be polygons. I'm going to say remove polygons. And I'll just make a curve out of these by going like this. And then in here we say, no, in curves, make open curve. So we've got ourselves a spline curve now. And I'll copy that here, paste that here. So I got a clone of it. I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to stretch it down. I'm not going to scale it down. I'm going to scale it down only on the Y. So something like that. And then in the third layer, I'll make a little disk here. Doesn't need to be very high resolution because we could turn on subdivisions. And I'm basically going to align it with the curve. Okay. And then we'll do an extrude along the curve. And we'll say, I don't want automatic, I want uniform, so it's always the same. And we'll go, I think 32 should be plenty. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I don't want to clone it. I want to rail extrude it, not clone it. Rail extrude, there we go. Uniform knots. So Steve says he mistyped the email address. There we go. Maybe I want a little more than 32. Let's say 50. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Undo. Before I do that, I'm going to copy this to another layer. Okay. Now I want to do rail extrude. 50. Okay. And on this clone here, I want to align him to this spring. That's close enough. And do a rail extrude here. 50. So now we got 2 springs. I should have probably moved the spring closer together. So let's do that.
Yeah, that was what I didn't do with Blender. I should have probably created an object instead of using the native cylinder skinning.
right, let's do that again. Okay, that's good. I mean, it's not touching. I guess we could have squeezed it a little bit more so they actually touch, but I think it's close enough.
Yeah, cool.
So now what I have is two springs, and they both have the same number of points, which is crucial. You don't want to add or subtract points before you do what we're about to do. So we can delete these. I'm going to say new object, paste that in there. Spring collapsed. And spring. Okay. Now we'll go into layout. Okay, we got both springs loaded up. And I'm going to say on this guy, let's see, it's been a while since I did this. I think it's in here.
You're not using morphing, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's different than what I was trying to do in Blender.
Well, you did it with a spring, but if you use a bone to deform the spring, then the diameter will change.
Yeah, there was a way to do it using a bone where the diameter doesn't change, and I've got to find it. I'll find it, and then
It might require altering the diameter of the object as the spring contracts.
yeah, that was why I went to the spring or the curves because what I think I did was I utilized the native skinning, but if instead I applied an actual curve object instead, maybe that would have worked. I'll try it real quick while you're working and see if
Yeah.
that does anything.
If I could just remember which thing it is in here to reshape one object to the other. I think it's just right here, isn't it? More
It's been a while,
somewhere.
it's been a while since I've been in LightWave.
I
I
thought it
used to
was.
I used to know all that stuff. Now I've been in Blender for so long, I've forgotten where things are in LightWave.
I think it's just morph, but
So Buster X66, I put the new. I apologize. I put the new email address. I had a typo in the last email address I gave you. That's the correct email address. So do that right now. Email address and phone number, and then I'll plug you right into the class.
oh, it's right here. Morphing is here all the time. Spring collapsed. There we go. Now I will. So right now it's the long spring is taking the shape of the short spring, and that's because they have the same point count. And so what I'll do is just say save endomorph, and we'll call it contracted. Now we can get rid of this. Now we only have one spring here. Save the object. And then all right. So it's contracting without changing the diameter, and we can do fancier stuff like have it follow a bone, so that you could use it to be an actual spring between two elements, and we could turn on subdivisions
Look
so it
at it.
looks a little nicer.
Look at it. Spring, baby.
There we go. Should have probably made it thicker diameter. So do you want me to go ahead and, excuse me, I think I need some water.
It, keep that water handy. Stay hydrated, man. Gotta stay hydrated.
Sorry, to take my headphones off while I reach for something. My water. That's better. So I was just going to say, if you want, I can do the bone thing with this.
Yeah, do the bone thing.
All right. So I'm going to temporarily disconnect that. And I guess we don't even need to have bones. We could just do it with nulls since we're not actually deforming anything. So I'll just say diamond, make it filled. And we'll make a goal. We'll make the spring a child of the null. Okay. So apparently this needs to be rotated 90 degrees, which makes sense because it targets in the Z direction. So it's following around. You can see, of course, it's doing the Euler flip over the top.
Mm-hmm.
We could use a pole vector to stop that. Anyway, so let's now make the spring contract based on the distance between these two guys. We can even have it stretch further if we go even further away than the spring is. I want to delete the animation that I made there by shift clicking on E. And we'll go math, vector, distance. And we also need to bring in the two nulls. Item info. There's 1 and 2. So there's null 1 and null 2. So we'll say world position and world position. So if I go like this, it's probably going to be all wrong, but we could adjust it. Yeah. So it looks like we need to use a negative value. So that would need scalar math, multiply. Let's try, and we'll just adjust the value till we get something that looks good. That's pretty close. Why is it not following?
It doesn't. It doesn't like you.
Let's see what's going on here. 956. Yeah, it's updating. Maybe this is a thing where it doesn't update till the frame updates. I bet that's it. So let's just do this. No, that's not it either. Weird. I don't know if it's obvious. I've never actually done this before. So we're getting different values, and we are piping that into the only option here. Oh, I see what the problem is. Do you see what the problem is?
Nope.
Subdivision is happening before this. So if I put that after it, yeah, now it's working. It's just that my scale is so tiny, it's barely moving. So we just have to alter the value here now. See, I used a really tiny value. Whoa. Oh boy. and now it's backwards again. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Multiply. Oh yeah, I wanted a negative value. Okay, so this is right, but now it needs to be multiplied again.
So
Let me think.
I'm not the only ones having problems with that today.
I think I'm not an expert at this. I'm gonna say -1 and then multiply that by I
Hmm.
see if that does anything. Oh, great. Well, see, if I was better at math, I would be able to show you how to do this part. Let's see. It's just a math issue at this point. Let's see. Oh, we're in the negative now. That's why. Oh, okay, so we scale it down to nothing, and that means. All right, there's got to be a way to do this. Point 0.2. I don't know. See what that does. Yeah, that's the problem. Is going.
It's gonna drive you crazy.
Yeah. Well, see, I want when the morph value is 1, that's when it's contracted, and when it's further away, I want the morph to be negative, but not go into a negative amount, but maybe okay. Maybe this is it. Maybe we need to take the spring and put this on -90. So it's facing the other way. So we can get rid of this one. Hey, almost. So now it's doing it too much. But see, it's doing it just the right amount on this frame. But when it moves like this, it's doing it too much. So how do you compensate for that? I do not know. I think what I might need to do is make this value dynamic based on the distance, the multiplication value.
Hmm.
So let's try that. And then we'll use a curve. In fact, we might not need this at all. Yeah, see what that does. And then down here, whoa. Let's see. I guess I still need this distance in here. And then we'll use, gosh, wish I paid more attention in math class.
Thank God for sliders and 3D program. They don't know the math. Just pull the slider and see where everything falls.
Well, we got that part for one frame. All right, so we'll take this, put that in here. I think this might work. Let's hope anyway.
All right.
So let's change this value to look like this. And then down here, yeah, we're getting closer. Let's
All right.
change this.
But that still looks like it's distorting from this angle.
It does look like it's collapsing, doesn't it?
It's all collapsing no matter what. It's behaving like Blender. There's a way to do it in Blender. I forgot what it was. Actually, I've watched the tutorial. I don't know. I forget who the person was I was watching, but he had a basically using bones and what he used was a curve. It was my understanding that if you use a curve, you can distort the curve but maintain the shape.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking about like if you use procedural render modeling. So you always keep the same spline coil,
Right.
and then do the extrude every frame.
Well, yeah. So basically,
the rail extrude.
You can resize or you can squish and squash the curve, but the circumference of the tube around the curve maintains consistent.
Yeah,
now,
because it's constantly
yes,
re-extruding.
Re-extruding. So that's what I thought I was doing when I was in Blender. I set to the curve, distorted the curve, but told it the data to constantly be established.
I think.
So now this is a setting in here that I'm not thinking about. Maybe we go tangent. What does this do?
Oh, I thought I had it. So what are we now? We're at 11. 11. Oh, son of a bitch.
Curve, deform, stretch, bounds clamp.
Okay, so any clients out there, I'm not your man to call when you need a spring. I'm close, but I'm one math solution away from getting it working.
You go to profile? That's the profile.
That's weird. Let's try this real quick. We'll skip that part.
Starting ending, then I get path animation.
So 0.08. 0.8 rather. Oh. .8. Oh wait, no, 0.8 here. And now you're at 11. So on 11, oh God,
That's not frustrating.
yeah,
It was annoying to me. I watched the tutorial on how it was done, and I bet you it's something I'm just missing in Blender. Probably a checkbox or something I'm just missing that'll allow it to happen. But I'll find it.
yeah. I mean, if I could just take the spline, because the latest versions of Lightwave has tools like what you're talking about in Blender, where it procedurally models
All right.
using object nodes, whatever it's called, modeling nodes. But I'm using 2020, so I don't have that. But I don't know. Just don't hire me if you need a spring.
But what's nice about Blender is that if you have questions, you can go to YouTube and find it instantly. Practically anything you want to know.
This might very well have a tutorial out there somewhere. I'm,
Yeah, the
I'm
problem
sure I've seen what's his name?
yeah, the problem with LightWave is that it's limited. It's not as ubiquitous as Blender in terms of tutorial education.
I've seen. Trying to remember his name.
Bond,
Proton. The guy Proton did it.
Bond, yeah. Yeah, he's good. He has a lot of very good.
I think I've seen him do a spring tutorial, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time.
He did, and I remember it, and it was using the morph command.
Yeah. Well, I'm using morph too, but I'm just not getting the math right as far as
Oh,
how to control the morph.
ah, oh well, figure it out for next time, as I will do the same. And
Yeah.
next time we come back, I will.
No, I will not have it ready for next
I'll
time you
have
come back.
answer.
I will be focused on other things like pad quarters. So I guess that's me. So it's back to you.
All right, very good. So I'll stop sharing your screen and I'll share my screen. So what I'll do is, we've got about pretty much 15 minutes left. Um, I'll show you what I'm working on for the one of the presentations. Not done with it yet, but it'll be kind of a fun one. The landing gear concept I was talking about earlier. If I go to File, let's go here to Open Recent, and I should have my Starship 26 Bullion. I'll show you what I've been working on here. Okay, so there's my start. Now this Starship is going to be 3D printed, right? So, and I'm working on some form. It's not finished yet. I'm just finishing putting on the other details on here. But if I grab this right down in here and pull it down, the legs come out or
Oh,
up,
fun.
right? Then I'm going to animate this concept and it'll fit
Landing
right.
gear.
Landing gear, yeah. Um, and I want to add a little extra details like some pistons that'll connect to the feet here, and I'll use bones to kind of point the piston straight on up. So the whole idea is I'm going to build some type of a contraption where this here will have a spool coming right through it, and I'll probably connect that. Matter of fact, why don't we do that right now, real quick? I'm going to grab this here. Let me go over here and go to edit mode. For that, there, grab this here, Shift S, 3D cursor right there. We will come over here and go to um, I'm going to go to object mode, Shift A, mesh and cylinder. Rotate this on the Y axis, so RY90. All right, S for scale. Bring it down like that. Okay, we're gonna fit that right inside there like so. So this is Command A, rotation of scale, apply it, tab, edit mode. Pull this on out.
Oh, I just thought of something, Stephen.
Yeah, go for it.
If I made my spring a 2-point poly chain and just told it to render with thickness, that would have effectively done the same thing, just
Well, give,
only at render time.
and give it a try before you show it real quick.
Oh, what
So
right now?
that no, oh, well, let me finish first because I got my
No,
thing.
I mean while you're working there.
You can bring it for next time. Now, oh, everybody, just a heads up. Next week is Wonderfest, so I'm leaving this Wednesday. I will not be back until the following Tuesday, so we will not have a broadcast on this an official broadcast at your time, 10 o'clock. Now, what I'm seriously considering of doing is broadcasting my free presentations. I got two 1 hour free presentations, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and I'm planning on broadcasting that to Twitch. So if you are signed up, let me see. I gotta go find out. Send me your email address. I'll put you on the mailing list so that you guys are notified. So let me go grab my email address here real quick. I want to go copy the one I just put up here. Let's go down the bottom, and there we go. I'll send this. Get the second one that I sent to Buster66. There we go. All right, so I'm putting my email address in here. Send me your email, okay? Or if you want to, you can type it in the chat box right now. Send me your email address. I'll put you on the mailing list so you're notified of the times of my presentation so you can go on to Twitch and watch them live, okay? Live while I'm in Louisville. And I forget the titles of both of them, actually. I have to go to the site and see if they've got the schedule up yet. But in the meantime, the idea is that I'm going to have a rod in here like so, where you can easily slide this on. So each of these parts. So if we take a look at this real quick, this part will be 3D printed separately. All right. So this, there we go. That part there is a separate part from this part up here. All right. This part up here is a separate part. The foot is another separate part. It too will have a rod that'll come through. I'll 3D print the rod to slide it on through so that you can basically, the foot, I designed it so it can sit right outside so you can just pull it with your fingers straight on out.
Buster has a question.
Oh, what's his question? Okay, let me go see the question. Hey, Steve, will that class be recorded to watch later? Yes, that class will be recorded to watch later. Watch later. But it's kind of fun because if you're there live, you can hear people ask questions. You can interact with them. It's kind of fun. But if you can make it in person, that'll be great. But I'll send out when the scheduling will be, and it'll be Eastern time. And I'll make sure I'll state that as well in the notifications. So good question, Buster X6. And okay, let's go back to here. Let's get rid of that there. So my idea here is to create some type of contraption that you can apply to any of your models. So if I pull this on back, in fact, let's do this. Let's go to this here and hide this. Let me go to my rig. This is my armature. Hide that temporarily so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so there's the rod. Now I could design something where this will be permanently part of the interior of the ship. So in Blender, if I go to edit mode for this, all right, I'm going to the front view, like so. Make sure I'm in X-ray mode, right? And I'm going to go to my shift right click to put my 3D cursor right up there. So I'm in orthographic view, the front view. 3D cursors here, and I'm going to go to a command called spin. If I click on that spin command, let's see what I've got here, what's going on. So I should see my spin options. There we go. Let's pull it on back a little bit. I'm in the wrong. I get X, Y. I want to be in the Y. I don't want to be in the Z because that's going to be doing it like that, right? See? So I don't want that. So I'm going to undo that one. Get in close. Number one key in the keyboard. I want instead the Y's right up here at the top. I want the Y. You can see the hull of my ship right up here. So I wanted to actually blend in with this. So I would just click and drag. Let's see. Click and, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to select the face. There we go. Now click and drag, bring that on up like this. All right, it's a nice fast way to do this. And now if I kind of see what I've done, at this point, hit the E key to extrude and connect it right in there. And that can be a little piece. And I might make this, I don't want it coming out of the top of the ship, so I got to be careful how, what I do with it, but I might make it a little bit thicker or something over here to give it a more solid connection. But that might work, and just make sure that this top portion here, I'm gonna go to I just bring it down just enough. Now it's a thickness in here, so this will be molded as part of the ship. Just push it down just enough right there. That should do it. You got a little bit coming here, so I'm going to have to do this instead. X-ray mode. Go to the front view. You can see the angle of my hull. I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to grab the shear command here. And then I can take this and just shear it, just like that. There you go. That takes care of that. Now I can bring that up a little more. Let me go to the front view and turn off X-ray so I can see what I'm doing here. Yep, nothing up there, but it blends in pretty well down here, which is kind of cool. All right, so these arms will connect here. Again, the same type of a rod that I have here, I'll have for all of these. And the foot there, and now if I come out here and test it out, let's go back and get my armature and turn it back on. Object mode, select my armature. Go to pose mode for your animation. All right. Oops. And this is a rig, right? This is an IK rig. So I can just pull it on out and pull it on up, right? And animate this. So something else that will be animated on the ship as well is these wings here. So the wings are up when it's in landing mode. I just put the foot down on landing mode. So bring the foot down. Oops, I went the wrong way. Went straight down. There we go. I'm going to go to this one right here. I think it's that one right there. If I go to this mode and kind of adjust the foot, there we go. Bring it up like that. Yeah. Okay. So it's in landing mode here. This is when the wings are up. So I want to animate this real quick before the show, so I can post it on Facebook. When it goes up to go in flying position, I gotta remember where I put everything here, and then go back to object mode and select this. Let me go find it over here. Okay, rotating wings, and I've got, let me see, let me turn those off and on. Yeah, there they go. That's all the wings right there. They're all in one layer group called rotating wings. And if I remember correctly, so I haven't done this, because I've been working on other parts of the ship for a while. I think everything is connected to this piece. Let me see if it is. Okay. There was here, let's see, there was an option. I had a Nolan here. I'll tell you what, why don't we just connect everything to this ring right now? If I select this ring, rotate, as you can see, that's the thing. This rotates. All right, so I'm going to just parent it. Take this. In fact, let's turn off that armature again. It's in the way. Okay. And I'm gonna go to the wings here. So the rotating wings, I got this, this, and that. So the blasters and the wings are all together. The little extra details on the wings are all together as one. So select this, hold the control key, select. I want to make sure I've got the right thing selected here. Okay, so cylinder 3. So I'm going to select this one, control, that one, and then this one last. And then from here, control P, keep transform. Okay. I'll rotate. That's what that does. Okay. So it'll be here in landing position. When it starts to move up the flyings in the air and into space, these are rotate down like this, so that it moves in this position like so. And I haven't decided if I want the permanent position to be flat on here. I think I'm liking it better when it's more like this, just slightly up. Kind of do a little angle like this. And when I 3D print it, all this will be open on the inside, so you can put in lights. Got a nice little hexagonal pattern for the exhaust engines. I've got more detail I got to put back here. I'll finish it up with probably this weekend. And then I want to texture it. I won't have time to do a cockpit, so this will be black. In fact, let me go to texture. I've forgotten what I've done texture wise. Yeah, so that's what I've gotten so far texture wise. Let's see. Undo. Okay. X-ray is not available here. I got something going on with the wings here, so let me go find out what it is. It looks like to me like my normals are flipped here. I'm not sure, so I'm going to go check that out. So rotating wings, let me go over here. There they are. This is that one. Yeah, that's one of them. Let's go to tab key, edit mode, select all, and shift in. Oops, undo. That's a material mode. Or maybe actually that material is actually red. Let me see. Yeah, it is. The material is red, silly me. All right, if that's the case, let's go try it this way. Select that and then Control or Shift. Click on the body of the ship. Control L for linked, and link all the materials right here. I've done this before, so link the materials. Oh, wait a minute. This wasn't selected. Select that, Shift select the body, Control L for link materials. Should work. Let's try this. Let's go to render. Yeah, it's still coming up red. no matter what, it's coming up red. I'm going to come down here and just manually do it. Take it to a neutral area there. Give it some reflections. See, both wings are the wings are instances of each other. So give it a little bit of a glossiness on the surface, metallic. Bring it up. Right there, and bring down there you see, bring down the roughness a little bit. This section here can be black, I suppose. There's no texture for that at all, so I was adding new. Make it like a very dark gray, just to kind of get things started off, just to see some of the separate detail. All right, so I got to put more greeblies, more details, maybe some grid lines on the wings, maybe on the body as well, and then add some texture and detail. It'll be done, at least enough, just in time for the show. Um, and then ideas, I'm hoping to get one 3D printed and functional. You can see down here, I use booleans for the feet. I kind of connect those two. I got to go in and add materials to the feet. I haven't done so yet. And get it animated, taken off and flying. Then we'll do a class on creating the legs, animated, adding bones, adding animation, and then setting it up for 3D printing. I won't use this ship. We'll use something else, but this will be something to kind of inspire them on what they could use their gear. The idea is that they can take this gear setup and they can add it to any model that they're building, and or modify it for any model that they're building. So once again, as Buster 66 question was answered, the class will be recorded. Send me your email address. I'll put you on the list, and you'll get access to the class. Okay. So that's it for today. I've got plans to go see Mandalorian and Grogu at the 7 o'clock showing. We're going to go to dinner at 5, and then go to 7 o'clock showing of the Mandalorian, and see just how what they've done to it. Hopefully, it'll be a fun movie, but gosh, the fans are killing it on reviews. A few fans are giving it thumbs up, but a lot of fans are kind of like going, "Nah, it's not as good as it could be." So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So the heads up, I'm no Blender and Lightwave broadcast next Saturday. I'll be in Louisville. We'll continue on the following Saturday, and I'll keep everybody informed. So next Saturday, I hope to do some type of live, make our Louisville presentation live. Okay. Carm, thank you so very much. That was wonderful.
Sure.
And we'll see everybody back. All right.
Bye bye.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to